What's going on, everybody? Facebook world. This is Bryan Justice. Let's see what we can do to add on my brother Wil. Spare me a moment. Let's get Wil in the building. Dr. Wil Lebron. You just sent your invite. I think I'm gonna turn this light off. How's everybody doing outside in the real world? Whew. It's New York City. It is a humid day. Can't seem to get rid of, there we go. Got fair. What's up, Sister Bernard Tara? Peace. Peace. Good evening. Have we got my brother Wil in as yet? Wish I could have done a better job of that. Poking in the camera. I don't want to poke nobody's eye. Brother Wil. Okay, I just tried to add you, brother, so let me try that again. Let me do that one more time. Pardon the technical difficulty. One moment. I'm about to get rid of that light too, because this humidity is crazy. Bear with me, brother. Are you in there with me? Wow, you're trying to come on.
Look.
Peace, Sister Allie.
Oh,
There
look
you
at
are.
that.
That looks good. And I'm sweating like a pig right here because did y'all get the humidity that we got?
Oh yeah, it's super humid out here.
Yeah, it's something else.
But I'm still outside though, so
Smart
I
move.
can't see no comments here. What the hell? All right.
Well, we all rolling. I mean, questions. I mean, we're gonna talk about detoxification, and I see we've got a few people in. So that's good, sister. You want to start detoxing tomorrow, and that's actually excellent. Tomorrow be the perfect day if you're if you're going for 1 week, 2 week, going into the weekend, you're going past. Your only challenge would be dealing with the weekend, depending on the person's schedule. The social interactions an issue for some. Some people are totally fine with dealing socially. Whether you're going to events or you're with your family or workplace, the gym. You know, you want to talk about. You want us to talk about our experiences with detoxification. Like, what sorts of what can you highlight that's with your experiences, your benefits, what you've gained from detox?
Me or you?
Yeah, I was asking you if you wanted to detail anything that.
When I detoxify, hello, Michelle. When I did a detox, um, and I mean, first and foremost, I think we should say that detoxification can be dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Number one.
Right.
People think detoxification, oh, like I ate bad all weekend, so now I'm just gonna stop eating. Like that's dangerous. To just stop, to go from eating a lot of not good food to not eating any food is pretty dangerous because the toxins are going to rise to the top of the blood very quickly. Um, so people have actually died from doing detoxification improperly. So you really want to build your body up to having no food if you want to do a detoxification. So a detoxification is basically having no food. But my detoxification is, with water and herbs. This is how I detoxify. Um, the main herbs that I use are two herbs. I use Irish moss and slippery elm, and both of these herbs combined like pull the deep mucus out of your body. So from detoxification, I've gained um, a lot more clarity, able to think better, sleep better, everything heightens. Able to see better, smell better, taste better, hear better, feel better, touch better, communicate better, react faster, everything. I mean, that's what I've gained from detoxification. And I've also gained a massive amount of learning my body language,
Yeah.
learning the language of my body. So slippery elm capsules. You could do slippery elm capsules or slippery elm tea. You just got to know that Irish moss, when you put it in like a water or tea, it expands. And also water with cucumbers and lemon juice. I mean, you could do that too. But that's not gonna go in and remove the deep mucus like what I'm talking about. So, but Irish moss, when you put it in water, it expands, and slow the slippery elm, it expands. So these can be used as appetite suppressants too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Cucumbers are very good for silica, and also, you're bringing in a water that's a good alkaline water that is sustaining. The lemons and limes are pretty good on their own for detoxing. People who could have dealt with a lymph, um, you know, uh, perspiration, these sorts of issues. Definitely lymphatic, definitely liver. The lemons, limes. As a matter of fact, the citrus family very good as far as cleansing the body. Hey, babe. So I want to go into my first detox. I'll tell you this. Back in the 90s, I tried to be a vegan and finally got to be one. But by 2002 or 3, I did my first cleanse. And my first cleanse was the lemonade was the master fast, which my auntie, rest her soul, uh, she was into a lot of healing modalities. Yeah, Peter, you want the ones with seeds in it, preferably. Um, I think the game, you know, we know the powers that whoever it is. They decided that seeds outside of lemons are less good for us, or more convenient to not have them. So
The
yeah,
lemon
you
skin
you
is
want
very good.
yeah, you
Skin
definitely
of
want this.
the skin of the lemon.
The skin is excellent, and I like skins because when you talk about skins and dealing with the outside of the body, getting stuff out of the digestive system, that blockage that everyone complains about, because a lot of cravings are coming from your local digestive system. They're very local to you, and I think that's the first gate that people have to learn to bypass, is that craving, the hunger, the stomach pain, the signaling that you get when you start to feel hungry. So hey, Sarah, it's very indicative of your first, your gut feeling. Your gut feeling is to go for the fridge. And
Hmm.
I said about Spider-Man and his gut. His spidey sense starts tingling. Yours starts tingling. You start to want to go to the fridge because that's the
Yeah,
first, and that's your enteric nervous system that's acting.
I did that before, Miss Rose. That cayenne and maple syrup.
That was the one I was referring to, the master
Oh, that's the
cleanse.
one.
That's the one. It was a, it was
Okay,
a
that's the first. That's the first one I did too.
that was the first one, grade B, right, or something like that. So I would drink this all day, everything. They say Stanley Burroughs. I think you could. drink it for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and whatever.
Yeah,
And
maple syrup, grade B.
grade B, that was the one. Can't find it anymore though, Will. I don't
I
know
got
if
it.
you.
I got it in the shelf right here in the house.
Oh, okay. I haven't used syrup in a while, but when I last looked for it, I was like, where is it? But yeah, that was my first cleanse. That was a pretty serious. I mean, just from years of toxicity to that point, I was really toxic, man. I came from all kind of drinking and
Yeah.
partying, all of that stuff. So a cleanse was like well overdue, heading into my third decade of life. So I made sure me and my brother. I remember driving, and it was like I swore I was like in a Men in Black car. I mean, the clarity. Everybody who detoxes, you get into a state where you're doing less automatically than what you were doing. Anything that you're doing less of than before is automatically going to detox you. If somebody was eating metal, they were eating metal. Like there was a guy who ate metal. He ate shopping carts and airplanes. So if he would have started eating wood, that would be a detox. He's detoxifying off the metal. But in our case, we're a lot lighter and more in the swing of I'm guessing that we have a lot of vegans, raw vegans, fruitarians, vegetarians, people who eat fruit, who cleanse, because I'll be real with you, it doesn't matter what you eat. It matters how much you're cleansing. You've got
Matters how
people,
much you don't eat.
it's how much you don't eat. The less you eat, the longer you live. But then the longer you live, the more you're going to eat over time.
There's
Nice 7-day water fast,
11
Ali.
days. So that's what I was talking about. Like when you go on these fasts, like a water fast, you guys just gotta be careful because the toxins are gonna rise up and out fast, and so you're gonna experience the pain of the cleanse fast rather than building your body up to the cleanse. Now, if you can tolerate this, then you can go ahead and do that. And if your body's not too toxic, but if the body is too toxic and doing this type of cleanse will harm your body. It will harm your body if the body is too toxic. It will do more harm than it'll do good because there will be too many toxins and these toxins will come up to the surface and override the body, and you can expire from doing this. So build your body up to cleanse. People can't just cleanse. Some people go on a fruit cleanse. You go on that first, and then you see how you do one day without food, and then you build your body up again and see how you do. You consistently just kind of build your body up, build the tolerance level. Because detoxification is it's an art form. This is not just something that you can just go on Facebook and look at this funny looking video and it has a great meal for vegans and it has a plate with a fork and a knife with no food on it. Like this is not um, this is not something you want to do. It's very can be very harmful if you just straight go from eating steak and potatoes to eating nothing. Steak and potatoes for your whole life, and then you eat nothing. There's a lot of toxins that build up inside all over the body, and you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel the headaches. You're gonna feel the dizziness. You're gonna faint. You're gonna blurry vision. Your
Yeah,
ears will get all clogged up from all the stuff coming out because the body's very smart, and it's gonna pick the quickest path to get out. You have all this gunk coming out of your eyes. So it would be good to go into a sauna or take a nice hot bath so you can open up the pores and let the skin breathe and help your body to detoxify.
excellent. Aliel, nice. You need to be in a safe space with good energy alone or with good people around you. It should definitely be that people are supporting your fast. You're supporting your digestive system and your whole system. You need a calming environment. The body's trying to go on a physiological rest. If there's all this activity around you, You know, you're excited all the time. How much rest is doing? The nervous system is supposed to be calming down. You should even be able to close your eyes a little bit, because when you think about it, you're closing your eyes. Sleep is the real healer. Closing your eyes, your nervous system automatically brings
Mm-hmm.
down the guards. Light is, you know, seeing, reacting, that frontal lobe reacting to stigma and just getting into the whole, you know, predatory or getting ready for action. That can take away from a detox. But we do it because we're busy people. You know, we're in school, work, family, whatever, you know. So water, I want to get to water also, because the water fast. Can we, hey, Will, here's what we can do. We can go through the different types of water fast. So we did talk about the lemon, the master cleanse a little bit, which is something I did. I think I did it for 11 days. We got some clarity. But we could still go on the water. So I want to like piggyback off of what you said on the water fast. And, you know, water fasts are pretty good. I did a 5-day water fast. That's as much as I could do. I've never gone past, try to get to 6. And too much detox action for me. At that point, I started doing another type of cleanse that involved fats, which a lot of people are against. But water, what water does, water moves things around. It cleanses things out. So whether you're using the distilled waters, the alkaline waters, which you have to make sure you're getting from a natural source. Machines could make water, and different things can change the pH of water, but you got to make sure that it's very natural. So distilled water with some things, or empty, would probably be one of the better choices, and natural spring water would probably be a very good choice. You have another level where you do a urine fast. A urine fast would be one where one just drinks their own urine and might drink distilled water or only the urine, and that can bring about a healing effect. I've done one of those for almost 16 days, 15 days, 15 days, and that. But water, water. Think of a hose in a house. If you bring a hose in a house, what's that going to do? If it's too much water, things are just going to go crazy all over the place. You know, not that any of the fasts would, you know, push things around, but at some point, too much water can be actually deadly, could be toxic.
Oh
If
yes, I'm sorry, that bentonite clay that you mentioned. That bentonite clay is superior. That bentonite clay, I'm sorry, that joint sticks to all the heavy metals. I'm sorry, if you want to remove the heavy metals in your body, bentonite clay internally, and your bowel movement will come out clay, bentonite clay, and what she say, the psyllium husk too, psyllium husk, the Irish, the slippery elm is better than the psyllium husk though,
mm-hmm.
for the mineral and the strip. But also I wanted to add in there, you know, I know people are against salt and things of that nature, but um, sodium or salt, you know, I've done uh, a 90-day water fast. That's as long as I went with herbs, and it was superior. It was very painful and very hard. Um, but every day I actually had a glass of um, uh, water and sea salt, and you know, salt. I mean, you can overdose on anything, but for me, I mean, you know, people don't believe in the salt, but I believe in the salt. Salt gives the body superior electricity. You know, because if you look at the ocean has a current, and if you look at an electrician calls his stuff a current when he, you know, turns the current on and off. So the ocean has a current as well, and this is why the ocean has the water, the salt inside of the water, because it produces such a high current that it needs something to have this current travel through, and that is salt. Yes, the
Okay.
Himalayan sea salt is my favorite salt to use. So I don't use salt on anything, but I just wanted to throw that in there because there are natural mountain springs that actually produce natural water that has salt in it from underneath the ground, from the corals. I just
Okay.
wanted to throw that out there.
Okay. I'm on the different page. I don't use any salt. Now I do understand the concept of how salt can, exist in the oceans and even in nature. You get salt when water washes against rocks and washes against different minerals in nature. But you also have salt with movement inside of in smaller quantities as things move. If anyone studied rain, when distilled water moves, it moves. I think it changes at 32 feet per second. I think it creates ionic, But of course, there might be particles like dust in there and things like that. But nevertheless, the ions change as it moves. So I think once you have movement, and we're naturally salt beings, you can also get the required salt. I don't even really drink water, but I do eat a lot of fruits. And the fruits that I eat are pretty much water rich. So they're going to have sodium. They're going to have the potassium, the necessary minerals in there. So, and I do my urine. So that's going to give me all the salt that I need. But it's not even really salt. It's more or less, we have 12 mineral
Sodium.
salts, many more mineral salts. These are just the ones defined by science. But if you were to burn a body, what's left is nothing but salt. And it's pretty, and you can use salt. Like I prefer not to, but salt creates current, creates electricity. And the same argument as salt can be also had with fat, but it has to be the right type of fat because fat also creates insulation. One thing, when you, I've had a situation with people who needed to heal from some serious symptomology. Like I've known of some that I've worked with some cancer. And the thing with cancer is tricky because with cancer, if someone could have done chemotherapy, you got to protect the radiation that comes back out of the cell. Because let's say somebody does a water fast and they've had radiation. Well, that radiation is going to come right back out of the cell because of the elements being moved. And has anybody ever heard of Coretta Scott King? Coretta Scott King, I'm not going to say where she went. She went to a healing center in the United States, and they thought she was cured of her cancer because she did the chemotherapy. Kind of at the last minute, she went for natural healing. And I think what happened was going back to the conventional and trying to do the natural. She died because the radiation leaked back into her bloodstream, and to a point, as Will, you were saying, detoxing improperly can definitely kill you. And this is what happens. It's what happened. The story gets back into the bloodstream and it's too much for the body to handle. So it's some of those things that got to be careful. Zodu says, whenever I go days without salt and then use it again, it burns my mouth. A sign to that I don't need it. I prefer kelp granules. Well, that's very true. Another thing that could be, it's tricky with salt is that if you put salt on a wound, it's going to burn. But at the same time, salt has to wash against enough elements. It can't be excessively used. A lot of people in the health industry like to pour on things. It could be salt, it could be sugar, it could be condiments, it could be salad dressing. Right, Alio, detox overload. So, that can happen with that. But a lot of people like to pour things on. Salt can well with that. I'm sorry, Will. I'm going to pass it back to you.
Oh no, you good. I wanted to add on to that. Fruit is king. I mean, I just want to put that out there. Fruit is king. Like, fruit has everything your body needs, all the way across the board. You don't need nothing else but fruit. And the reason I say this is because everything that your body needs, the sun already provides. And so fruit is the only food that sits out in the sun and goes through metamorphosis and changes colors, and these colors directly reflect the uh, abstract appeal of the sun. So just because it's not orange or yellow doesn't mean that it's not from the sun. The sun is all colors because the sun is actually white. It's not orange or yellow. So white is the combination of all colors reflected. And so fruit is king. So fruit sits out in the sun and absorbs all of the nutrients of the sun. This is why the skin is so potent in the
Mm-hmm.
fruit. And you don't even have to put salt in the water to get electricity. You can put anything that's citrus in the water to get electricity. You could just a key lime or something like that. Like that also creates current. Like everything creates current. Movement creates current. Rubbing your hands together, creates current and friction. You can bring the current actually into your body via the source. Why not fruits and vegetables? Vegetables grow underground, and so vegetables have a different component and a different element to them. So vegetables are earth based. Fruit is universal based. It's sun based. So this is the difference for me, because this is why vegetables balance out the body and fruits clean out the body. Because we're earth beings, and to balance out the body, people say to ground. And
Yeah.
you ground from the earth. So vegetables are second on the list, next to fruit. Fruit is king, like all the way across the board. Nothing beats fruit. I don't care what it is. Nothing
Yeah.
beats fruit. And so since fruit comes from a tree,